Today we're going to be talking about habits, water, and weight loss. We're moving into January, and what always happens around this time of year, people start looking in the mirror, thinking about Thanksgiving and all the food that they ate then, thinking about all the candy that they're eating all December, and start going, one of my things for the next year or the new year is I need to lose some weight. And so whenever I talk about weight loss with people, one of the things that I always want to bring up with them is habits. Z-Health practitioners are constantly reminded that their number one job is behavior change, not cool exercises, not cool diets or anything else. Because ultimately, best diets, best exercises, best tools in the world make no difference if you cannot apply them. So I am a habit fanatic. Now, here's why this is really important to me. Whenever you look at the science around habit change, there's these myths out there. The number one myth being it takes 21 days to change a habit. Not true. If you look at the research, even simple habits take roughly 60 to 70 days for most people to make them automatic. Now, and by simple habits, that's like drinking a glass of water, which is actually the topic today. So why I want to talk about this by habits and water is actually a study that just came out that's quite fascinating. And it's very cool because it's a big study. It wasn't around 30 people, it was 18,000 people over the age of 18. It was a study conducted from 2005 to 2012, and they just published the outcome. And the outcomes were very interesting because they're very powerful, and they emphasize how small efforts can create huge changes over time. And that's really what we're after in Z-Health. We're always asking, what's the most effective use of your time? So here's how the study went. They looked at plain water consumption being, bottled water, tap water, or whatever, and they looked at how much people were drinking and how much they were eating in contrast. And they found something very simple. They said the more plain water people drink, the less they eat. Now there's a lot of complicated physiology around how that works, and I'm not going to talk about the aspects of hydration and other things right now. I'm just talking about water consumption, weight loss, and habits. So to keep this very simple, what they found was that for every 1% increase in water consumption, and 1% is a very small amount, they found about roughly 9 calorie decrease in the amount people were eating. So what that basically equates to is drinking 1 extra cup of water, 8 ounces, roughly 250 milliliters per day, would equate to a roughly 60 calorie decrease in energy consumption. So basically, you eat less food. Now what they then looked at is, okay, if people drink more water, do they actually eat less beyond that? And it was actually this kind of cool progression. If they drink 8 ounces versus 16 versus 32, they would eat less and less food over time. So what they indicated in the study was that if you could take someone who was drinking an average amount of fluid per day and get them to add in roughly 2 cups. This is a 17-ounce bottle, so almost 2 cups of water, roughly, well, I'm not a metric guy, 503 milliliters, thankfully it's on the label. This would equate to roughly 150 fewer calories eaten per day. If you added in, another 8 ounces, up to 200, even 250 calories less per day in many cases. Now, if you do the math on that, that basically means that you're going to wind up eating somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 calories less per week. Now, if you know anything about diet, that's kind of a cool deal. Because if you start to think about that, add it up over time, that can equate to a significant weight loss by doing nothing other than changing one simple habit, which is adding some water into your life. If you look at the math around all this, drinking 2 or 3 additional cups of water per day is the equivalent of doing about a 30-minute fast walk or a slow jog for most people, depending on your body size. And again, from an efficiency standpoint, drinking, you can do that at your desk. You can do that in front of the TV. You can do that when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't require you to put on your running shoes, throw on a coat, and go out and take a run, and it doesn't take that 30 minutes. So whenever you start thinking about how can I best change my life going forward, we want you to look for simple, efficient tools that can make that happen, and adding more water into your day is an easy, effective way to do it if you can change the habit. And that's actually what I want to talk about now. The biggest thing that we run into when we work with clients is it's not that they don't want to change, it's that they forget to change. So if I give you an exercise to do, it's not that you don't want to do the exercise most of the time, because if the exercise makes you feel better, most people logically want to do it, but then they get going on their day and they start doing all their habitual stuff, and if they don't have a reminder in place, they will forget to do the new thing. So what I love about adding something as simple as water into a weight loss program is is kind of built in. The reminder sitting in front of you, all that you have to wind up doing in any given day is get your 17-ounce bottle of water or your 32-ounce bottle of water and put it where you can see it. That visual reminder throughout the day to add a little bit more water can pay huge dividends over the course of 3 months, 6 months, and a year. So what I would recommend is if you go, you know what, I'm going to go hardcore to this and I'm going to try and do 24 ounces additional water per day, then buy a 24-ounce water bottle. That's it. That's your simple task. Fill it up every morning, take it to work, put it in your car, put it where you're going to be most of the day. That will solve a lot of problems right there that are associated with habit change. And what you'll find is not only will you feel better, start losing some weight in roughly a couple of months, you're not going to want to do without it, and all of a sudden you have a new health habit that is incredibly supportive of everything you're trying to do. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. Otherwise, good luck with your water.
Because of that door closing in the middle of it. Yeah, you're welcome.
Today we're going to be talking about water, not that. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about here in just a second as soon as I can remember.
Thanks, Liz.